Hello everybody, it's February 2013. Lou and Jimmy, we're going to do our taste testing for the month, which everybody that I know that always had single malt whiskey lived a long life, so we're going to try some single malt whiskeys today. As with every taste testing, no drinking and driving. Don't set the example for your kids that it's okay to drink and drive, because we're going to do a little taste testing, watch a little TV, and have a nice dinner. So the most important, don't drink if you're going to drive. Okay, we're wearing the Mexican hats pretty much. We couldn't find cowboy hats, but somehow it just seemed natural to be thinking about drinking whiskey, and cowboys. Like Clint Eastwood, he always walked into the bar and said, "A whiskey, please." So, that we'll talk a little bit about Senator Rubio, I think, later on, about him running for president down the road. But Lou, my first question this week is that you go to Atlantic City a lot, and when you go to Atlantic City, I think they pump something into the air to make you more alert. With everything that's going on in Washington, that the president down has no clue about the economy. Do they pump something into the White House and and into the other offices there that make them think so differently?
Maybe like laughing gas or something like that, or truth serum. They could use that in there. Truth serum.
I don't know. I drove around New Jersey, last week, and in less than an hour, I took about 50 pictures of businesses that were closed, and they were the size buildings that probably employed somewhere between 20 and 30 people, and they're empty. And more and more stores, and buildings are becoming for rent. So, if you have nobody, working, who's paying the taxes? And that's always one of the big arguments with the Republican and Democrats. If you lower the taxes, more people go to work. So if you have more people all contributing some taxes, but that's
right.
Why, I don't know where they get their thoughts from at some point. But on to a better note, okay? Lou, I had these for a while, and what happens is that, I taste tested one over the last month or two, a little bit more than the others.
Oh,
okay?
I gotta catch up to you.
So what we'll do is we'll try these.
Which one is this?
Okay, Dalmore. It's called the Dalmore 12-year-old Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Ooh, it smells good. Smells real good. Got a little deer on it or something. So we'll try this one first.
We got deer in the backyard here.
And with how cold it is, this will be a welcome, something will warm us up a little bit.
What do they say in Mexico? How do they always say? How do we salute?
I don't know. Senor, have a good nice drink.
See.
It doesn't burn like, like the mixed whiskeys and things.
Right.
Definitely, has a nice, smooth, warming sensation. That one's not bad.
Nah.
I could drink that. Did you watch the Oscars last night?
Nah, I think I was on the computer the whole night.
Oh.
That bores me, the Oscars.
It was nothing sensational. But, we weren't going down this road, but, I got to tell you something. Now that, we got the Mexican hats on, the sombreros, there's a lot of stuff going on in Washington. About 10 years, the Mexicans will be citizens and stuff.
Viva Mexico.
It really annoys me with how many things we get made in China, and labor is so cheap. Well, labor is less in Mexico than it is here. There's some companies that make their stuff in Mexico, and I think is make a damn good product. One of the tools that I loved for years was Milwaukee. They were made in Milwaukee, and they were such excellent tools. I still have some from 15 years ago. All right, I'm not a craftsman in a lot of trades, but for the house, I still bought the best tools. And now most of their stuff is made in China. That I started to buy DeWalt tools. You know, you see them in all the stores, you know, they're in the yellow and black boxes and everything. And a lot of their tools are made in Mexico, okay, and they're excellent products. So, you know, I wouldn't have much of a problem if manufacturing, you know, tried to get stuff made in Mexico compared to China. You know, while the United States, the prices are high, I could understand that. China, they're very low, and Mexico is somewhere in between. You know, and it could create so many more jobs because all that stuff would have to be distributed throughout the country and a lot of it by truck, which creates a lot of jobs in loading docks and manufacturing to support stuff back and forth. So, you know, Mr. Rubio, you know, if you're going to think about running for president, I wouldn't say, you know, you'll be ready in 2016, okay? And please forget those jerk-offs, you know, in the media that talk about you drinking that water. I mean, I don't know what's on their mind. You know, why don't they find out, you know, what really happened in Benghazi instead of worrying about you drinking some water? But I think you'll be a damn good candidate in 2020.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So in that time, you know, you'll find out how to play things a little bit more, and you have my vote. You know, in the last election, you know, I was pushing towards Obama, and I was walking around with a sandwich sign saying why to vote for him. You know, and you remember that. You know, in a later episode, you know, maybe next month's taste testing, I'll show you that sign that I actually walked around with. But I think he could unite America, you know, and the people in the country. You know, I don't know about 2016, but, you know, I think in 2016, you know, we're going to have some visionary.
Oh, not Hillary, please.
You know, some visionary that, you know, will help repoint, you know, the country. But then again, whoever that is, if it's that good, they'll probably be here for 8 years. So in that case, it might push you on to 2024, but you'll still have my vote.
Do they still make beer in Milwaukee, even though they don't make the tools there anymore?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of little breweries. You know, in Brooklyn, New York, there's a lot of breweries. You know, I don't. You know, sometimes you see some Rhinegold's, and I saw some Pabst.
Pabst Blue River, yeah.
You know, which I think was made in Milwaukee.
Schlitz, I think Schlitz was made in Milwaukee too.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
who's the beer that made Milwaukee famous? Schlitz or something?
Gee, I don't know, but there were a lot of good beers that came from there. A lot of good brats and things, you know. So, well, this one that we're trying now, you know, boy, this is another one that got a moose on it or something big with antlers. Yeah. Okay, Glenfiddich, you know, single malt Scotch whiskey, same thing. Their signature malt, 12 years old.
So it looks a little lighter than the other one.
Definitely a little lighter. You know, smells. The other one smells a little stronger.
Yeah, I get no smell of it. I don't know, my father used to drink the shots right down. My uncle always said, yeah, you sip it. So that's what I do, I sip it.
You know. Tell you one thing, it does a nice job clearing your nostrils. Yeah. That's not bad.
Nothing great yet.
No.
Tastes like a regular Scotch to me. Maybe no hangovers with it or something.
No, I got a little ahead of you. We only do one take of this because if we had a, you know, so what you see is what you get because, you know, we couldn't do this a second time, drink all this stuff.
Yeah, the wives wouldn't permit us.
Yeah.
Where are the wives anyway?
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. This one is the Glenlivet.
Oh, that's popular.
Yep. Single malt Scotch whiskey by the George and J.G. Smith Limited. Single malt. They're all about the same in liquor. You know, this one says that they did it back since 1824. So we'll try this one. Cheers, Lou.
Best. Mm.
That is good. You know, no bite, no aftertaste, smooth.
Yeah, I like the flavor. You can really taste it. They're all about the same price in the store.
Dollar for dollar, same price in the store. So which one you like the best?
I like the Glenlivet the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely gives you a nice taste. It's great with these things that you really don't have that aftertaste, that burning sensation. You know, it tastes pretty good. It went down smooth. You know, warms your belly a little bit. And what do you like as the second one?
The second one, I think it was the Dalmore.
Yep, we agree on that too. I think that was pretty good. You know, the other one, it was okay. It was definitely lighter in color. I don't know what that means, but you could see, Lou didn't finish all of them. You know, one is definitely darker than the other two. You know, I don't know if that's the barrel or what. You know, so
I'll finish the Glenlivet.
yeah. So I'm hoping things change for this country. You know, some jobs. You know, I've been unemployed a little bit more than 2 years now. You know, and the mortgage got to be paid and things. You know, it's getting harder every month, and there's no good outlook for jobs. You know, and to listen to them in Washington, D.C., an area where they sell more expensive wine than any other part of the country. There was a show on TV, matter of fact, Hannity, on the TV. Did it for, I think, Fox News, where they went down to Washington and they had to redo an airport or build another airport because there's so many private planes, private jet planes being landed in Washington now, and they sell more of the expensive wine than any place else in the country, including like the Hollywood area.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's unbelievable.
I guess they're drinking on the hill over there.
I don't know if they drink on the hill, but they showed you fancy restaurants, and I know when I was down there, I mean, this restaurant, I think it's a chain, Chicago Grill. It's excellent. It's on the pricey side. I think for 6 of us it was $600, but it was an excellent meal. But it kind of, when they showed like these private wine cabinets, of people that had, when they go there all the time, they have like their own stock of wine. I kind of remember that looked like the inside of Chicago Grill. So that's kind of pricey. But why down there they only have 3% unemployment? I mean, those numbers are funny numbers with how many people don't have jobs, but they came with unemployment, so they don't count them anymore. So, I mean, my real number probably is about 11% people being unemployed, even though they say, what, 8-9% these days?
Yeah, I think it's higher than that, too. 11%.
It could be in some parts of the country and certain ethnic backgrounds. I'm sure it's even higher. And college kids, I mean, I go to McDonald's or a fast food chain all the time and could see kids that, looks like, they graduated, college or something, and there's just no jobs.
They're working for minimum wage. They can't even get raises.
Yeah, and this part of the country, I mean, everything is so expensive, it's not even reasonable, some of the prices.
But getting back to the wine, my brother-in-law, everybody should have a brother-in-law like mine. He makes his own wine. I always get a half a gallon every month. So they should have a brother-in-law like I do and make their own wine. It's cheaper.
I tasted his wine, and it was very good. A lot of wines that people make, they're always cloudy. His wine is nice, and just like if you got it from a regular brewery or a distiller or a wine place, it is very good.
They said a glass of red wine a day is healthy for you too.
Yeah, I don't know if you should tell everybody that, because now they'll tax it. Homemade wine.
Speaking about tax, the Verrazano is going up again. The bridge.
Can you believe that? A lot of you that see this video every month, you're not from New York City or Jersey. There's a bridge that goes between Staten Island and New York, Staten Island, New York, and Brooklyn, New York. It's within the city, and it's $13. You pay one way, and the other way is free, but you can't get off the island without paying some other toll to go into New Jersey. It's $13, and it's going to go up to $15 a day for a car. When you go through the tunnel into Manhattan with a truck, it's like $13 an axle. So you wonder why, between the high cost of fuel, and, that's the one thing, the fuel in this country, we're selling it to other countries because we don't have enough, capacity, in our refineries here. So here we're producing more and more oil every day, and we got to sell it to other countries because we can't refine it here. Okay, I was never a Star Trek fan, but one thing that I always remember Spock saying, the good of the many outweigh the few. Okay, and that's what we got to do in this country. We got to do what it takes for the many and outweighs the few. So if we're going to kill a little tadpole, in some place, but, millions of people could get cheaper fuel, which will heat their houses and everything, okay, maybe we got to do that these days. And then, down the road, when everybody got jobs again and they could retire and Social Security is settled on something, then we could go back to tightening up the laws. But I think we should do what's good for the many right now, because it'll outweigh, what's good for the few.
That's true. Yeah. Commerce, you got to have commerce.
Yeah.
Trade, jobs, everything.
So.
And wasn't it talking about, what's his name, Mr. Spock?
Yeah.
Wasn't Captain Kirk on the Oscars last night?
He was on the Oscars. I don't know, I'm not a big Oscar fan, but...
Bill Shatner?
Yeah, he's pretty good for his age. I think he's like 80 years old. And I don't know who that guy is that hosted it. I think he has something to do with Family Guy, the TV show or something.
Oh, the Family Guy, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't watch that. But
I catch it once in a while when there's nothing else on.
Yeah, overall it was okay. It was nice to see some of the wealthy actresses and actors. Don't forget, okay, it was on TV the other day. Steven Spielberg, you want to rent this $200 million yacht? It's only $1 million a week for you and your friends. So
I'll go half with you.
Yeah, it'll be my dying thing. I'll give him a check and see if it clears the bank.
We'll be on the rowboat that's attached to the side of his boat.
Yeah, the dinghy. So anything else for this episode, Lou?
I think we covered it all.
All right. Well, everybody.
Spring training starting next month.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is over. We have looking forward to St. Patty's Day. Maybe we could have some corned beef and cabbage that day, and we'll
good idea.
Figure something out. Actually, this would have probably been better for last month, and we should have did sherries, this month. But we do our best to make everybody happy. So we'll talk to you soon, and as usual, God bless America. Bye now.